Hello and welcome back to another Forbesies Gunners show. It's so great to have you here, and man oh man is it good to be coming to you with a victory at Old Trafford after 14 years. Well done, gentlemen, well done. First I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. If you like the content, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. Greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to find out about our next fixture against Molde FK, I'll be bringing a pre-match preview to you during this week before the match on Thursday evening. And to find out about that, hit that subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, which will tell you when I release that. But let's get into today's match analysis from Man United on the weekend at Old Trafford. During the first half, there was this air of nervousness. Travelling to Old Trafford, I think the team expected Manchester United to come out of the gates firing. And while they enjoyed the first 8 minutes with some good passing and good space, they lacked a bit of that intensity. And we sat back a little bit expecting to be absorbing a lot of pressure during the first half. But as the first half continued on, we got more into our stride. The press started to take structure. Lacazette was leading from the front, marking the man. Both Aubameyang as well as Willian working well in tandem together, trying to defend the centre of the pitch, which worked extremely well. And the press overall, big tick. Well done, Mikel Arteta. You've restored a bit of structure to our defence. You've restored a bit of clarity to all of the players. They seem to know exactly where they need to be, and when there is a turnover, they seem to be switched on and not complaining that they've lost the ball or putting their heads down, but rather getting into the position where they need to be and looking to defend very decisively. Our biggest chance came in the 36th minute, and only a very small touch from Lindelof took the ball away from Lacazette's left-footed shot that would have gone, I think, into the goal. But just that small touch saved them. It was a brilliant cross and working in from the left-hand side of the pitch, and so close for Laka. Unlucky. Huge praise to Lacazette this game. Really worked really hard. Seemed to be in control, directing and making sure that he was in a position. And while he didn't get to a lot of good spaces or opportunity, he still worked hard defensively. Huge congratulations, as well as creating space on the outside for both Willian and Aubameyang, and particularly the half spaces for Saka and Bellerin to use, and on occasion Tierney as well, getting more forward. But we will get into the statistics a little bit later on in this video, and exactly how many passes were in the final third and how many passes were completed. And shortly after that, speaking about half spaces, Saka managed to get an absolutely wonderful cross in from Hector Bellerin. He lost his marker on Lindelof, which to be honest was fairly poor defending from an exceptional central defender, but he got completely clear of him, had an open header and headed it over. Again, two chances I think that should have gone in for Arsenal. First one from Lindelof, a bit of luck, but Saka really should have at least tested it and hit the target. At the start of the second half, like most Arsenal supporters and fans, we thought that Manchester United were going to really come out and start to dominate the game, and perhaps have had a good dressing room chat and decided, okay, this is where we need to do things better. And while there was a short spell in the beginning of the second half where they did look fairly promising, Arsenal held really well. Again, this goes down to the structure that Mikel Arteta seems to have implemented in terms of the low block. It worked really well, and we absorbed early pressure. And as soon as we had done that, we really began to dominate play. And the quiet heroes of this section of the game have to be the hard-working defensive runs of Mohammed Elneny and Thomas Partey. They really worked well together. They couldn't have done it alone. The front three, and Aubameyang, Lacazette and Willian, continued to work hard defensively. Now you've got to remember as well that these guys are trying to get forward when we have the ball, as well as the outside wing-backs in Hector Bellerin and Saka working incredibly hard. When we did have the opportunity to attack, they were immediately trying to get forward, and when there was a turnover, they were immediately turning back and getting into position. And eventually their hard work paid off. Willian creating some nice space for Bellerin to move into. Bellerin then receives the ball, passes it out wide to Willian, who lays it off in this sort of quite a special 1-2 back to Bellerin inside the box. gets the right side of Paul Pogba, who makes the error, and a foul is committed in the box. Penalty Arsenal. Aubameyang steps up to the plate and, cool as you like, slots it away. Arsenal are 1-0 up. What an amazing sequence of events that were happening at Old Trafford. The excitement amongst the team, you could see that there was a sense of belief, and we continued to dominate through the rest of the half up until about the 80th minute. Now I'm going to put up a statistic here. Who made the most passes? And for Manchester United, you can see clearly here that both Maguire and Lindelof particularly made a lot of passes for Manchester United. And what this points out is that Manchester United were finding it very difficult to locate their midfielders. Fred had a lot of passes as well, but sat quite deep and was, for Arsenal, fairly easy to defend. Lacazette refused to be drawn into the deep position. He stayed back and held the centre of the pitch. Very well done tactically from Mikel Arteta, which you can see in the statistics. Then passes in the final third. Paul Pogba, Luke Shaw had the most final third passes for Manchester United. Arsenal, we're having Tierney, Saka and Willian. Who would you rather having the ball in the final third and making those final third passes? Pogba, Shaw, Tierney, Saka, Willian. I know who I would like. Then passes completed. Now this is a key point. Both Mohammed Elneny as well as Thomas Partey got a lot more passes than Fred and McTominay. Matic then did come on and step up and begin to make those passes, and he was finding more space. He moved a lot more, and at that time he was getting a bit of passing as well. But in terms of passes complete in the final third, it goes to Partey. Now when you have the likes of Partey having that many opportunities to pass in the final third, something's going to happen. When you have Fred sitting deep in your own half, the chances of creating something are much lower. And this is the difference, I think, where Arsenal really found it, is that Mohammed Elneny and Thomas Partey were able to make passes. They were able to receive the ball. This really came about because Leno actually drew in Rashford or Greenwood into that press, freeing up either Partey or Mohammed Elneny, giving the half space into Hector Bellerin or into Saka more available, giving a ball out wide. Well done, Mikel Arteta. The tactics worked. The three most important points about this fixture. Arsenal were structured on their defense and played extremely well defensively. Going away, I think that, as I said in the pre-match video, that was always going to be the mentality. 2, we were able to find our midfielders, both Mohammed Elneny and Partey, working incredibly hard on defense as well as attack, allowing playing out from the back to work to our advantage, giving half spaces to both Saka and Bellerin, as well as Tierney when he went up, and he had one of the third highest final third passes of any other Arsenal player, which is incredibly positive to see those two finding the spaces. And the third point, Manchester United, I believe, played fairly poorly. They did have a last burst in the last 15 minutes where Arsenal supporters were on the edge of their seats. They tried their best in the 15 minutes. Again, a huge tactical masterpiece by Mikel Arteta. When those final 15 minutes or final 20 minutes of Manchester United playing their best football, it was easy to break that momentum by doing substitutions. Eddie replaced Lacazette in the 76th minute. Lacazette slowly strolling off the field. Maitland-Niles comes on for Willian in the 86th minute, and shortly after that Mustafi comes on for Aubameyang. All three substitutions eat up time, slow down the opposition, give our boys a chance to catch their breath. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Match preview, Molde FK. Come on the Gunners.